Big news in the land of Magic the Gathering. Let's talk about the announcement of Unfinity coming April of 2022. The core of this announcement is that it's happening, right? We know Unfinity is going to be space-themed. It's coming out next spring. It's going to have its own preview period where they'll show us cards. But for the first time, Unfinity is actually going to be printing cards intended for casual play within the kind of Un-universe, but also black-bordered cards, which will be playable in Eternal formats and casual formats. That means Legacy, Vintage, and Commander. Cards printed in the set that are intended for that use are going to have this acorn logo in the security stamp on the bottom of the cards. This is an example of a card that's going to be playable in casual formats but is not intended for use in Eternal formats like Legacy and Vintage. You know, because right here, boop, boop, it's got the little acorn logo. This thing's shenanigans specifically because it refers to cards in, like, the art in the cards. Whenever you cast a spell with an artifact creature in its art, which is not something Magic cards normally do. Space Family Goblin Son, however, that's going to be playable in Eternal formats. That is a 1/1 Goblin Guest. It's a legendary creature, by the way. Screams Commander, doesn't it? So it has Trample as long as you roll 3 or more dice in that turn, and whenever you roll a die, put a +1/+1 counter on the Space Family Goblin Son. Considering the number of cards in the Dungeons & Dragons set that have you rolling cards, it's not hard to imagine that you can get this multiple die roll thing. Also, I'm guessing there's probably going to be some die rolling cards in this unset and even others if you want to get crazy. But my bet is there will be some others in this set as well. This sounds like a fun little dude right here. But let's be honest. What would an unset be without new land? And so here we are. The unfiltered, the Unfinity, rather, lands are Spacek lands. That's right, here we go. Here's an image of the swamp and the mountain. If you go to the Mothership article, you'll be able to see it. These things are absolutely bananas, but that's not even the coolest part. These are like on the surface. What happens if the lands were in space? You get stuff like this. Tell me, I'm just gonna move myself out of here. Tell me that is not the most amazing planes art you have ever seen. Is it a plane? No. Is it clearly an expression of white mana? Absolutely. And the island? Man, this is looking really cool. These are gonna be chase cards. I cannot wait to get a bunch of these. Although I'm a little worried that I'm gonna have to get 20 something of these planes. What do y'all think? You picking this setup?